The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Chaco, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Hello there and welcome to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. Today I want you to meet two awesome women. What are they doing? They are changing lives in their communities. How about we meet them now? Come on, girls. Drum roll, a little drum roll. Yeah. You're welcome. Now you stand here. I'll stay in the center. You look beautiful, by the way. My costume is by Red Cotton, and our makeup is by African American Beauty Academy and Spa. Remember that the Kel Toothpaste PL Show is brought to you by the Kel Toothpaste brands Kel 360, Kel Kids, and Kel Chaco. Kel Happy Smile. When we come back, we will have a conversation with both ladies, but first with Rhoda Kadoa Wedam, and then a little later on the program, we'll talk to Halima Nuhu Sadia. I can't wait to have the conversation with you wonderful women. We'll be right back. Stay with us here.
Mommy. Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Chocolate Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. With me right now is Rhoda Kadoa Wedam. Now, instead of telling you what she does, I'll have Rhoda here tell us what you do.
So the name Rhoda Kadoa Wedam. Rhoda is a young girl of 32 years from Navrungo. I was born in Bolga. My parents are the Reverend Manfred Wedam and then Mrs. Elizabeth Wedam. I grew up with 4 other siblings, but lost one. That was in 2020. So currently I have 3 siblings, including myself. We are 4.
You were born in Bolga.
Yes.
You're from Navrungo.
I'm from Navrungo.
But you grew up in Tamale.
I grew up in Tamale because
Okay.
my dad used to work with the Ghana Order Service. He was transferred from Bolga to Tamale, and that was where I went to continue my education from primary 2. Then I moved to the junior high school in Tamale, and then that is a Presby Experimental Junior High School. Then I moved to St. Francis Girls of Assisi in Jirapa. From 2010 to 2014, I went to the University for Development Studies. I studied integrated community development. I currently hold a master's in business administration from the Accra Business School.
All right. When you decided to go to the university, there were a lot of courses, but you decided to do integrated development. Why?
For me, offering community development studies in UDS, I didn't know what it was all about. You know, coming out from senior high school, you get a lot of your colleagues choosing other courses. And during my time, I had most of my classmates offering a nursing because that was when we realized that the offer there was so good. So everyone was rushing there. I also bought the nursing form, but that wasn't my passion because for me, I cannot withstand blood. But I went ahead to buy the form because I didn't want a situation whereby all my colleagues would be in school and then I would be at home. So it was just a try to get a school to attend. So likely on my part, I didn't get the nursing. And then I had the integrated community development.
I like how you say luckily on your part.
Yes,
you
because
didn't get
already
it.
I didn't want it. So getting the community development too, I didn't know what this whole course was about because so young and didn't really know much about the university courses. Mine was just to go to school.
Right.
Growing up, I was someone who didn't like going to school because my parents could cane me, and it was so funny telling me the story now. I'm the type that when I want to sit down to study, I'll get it. But the thing is that I don't have the time. That is how it is. So at the end of the day, too, I also make it. So education, my parents are people that wanted to educate all their children. So let me say thank you to my parents, because if not for them, some of us would have dropped because we didn't really want to go to school.
Thank you to Reverend Widam.
His wife.
Not
his
your
wife,
mother,
yes.
but his wife.
And his wife.
I see. 2 years after you left school, that is when you started your economic empowerment NGO. So talk to us about that transition.
Studying the community development, I was so much aware that with my course, I'll be able to work with a non-governmental organization or also work with the district assembly, because the course had to do with development. But I didn't want to work for anyone. Okay. And in my level 400 was when I was having a discussion with a friend, and I told him that I want to establish my own organization, but I wanted to focus on children. I just said this, but didn't know that it was something that will manifest later. So after my national service, I was lucky to be with World Vision. So I gained the experience with working with non-governmental organization. I got that experience from there. And then after my national service with World Vision, I wasn't given the opportunity to work with them. And I would say thank you to that, because that gave me the opportunity to start something on my own, because sitting at home was so boring, and I'm the type that always want to do something. So from 2016 thereabouts was when I got up and then I started.
I want to know a little bit more on your growing up. What was your life's experience growing up?
Because of the family that I come from, a Christian home, we were all brought up in a way that my parents believed in education. We were always asked to go to church. So growing up from the Christian background, we're so lucky to learn a lot of values that guided our path. Okay. So for me, I would say because of the background that I'm coming from, I didn't really face a lot of challenges until when we got to Tamale after Bolga. When we moved to Tamale was when my mom started her petty trading. She was trying to support my dad with some extra income. You know that when the money is not enough, then our mothers will try to do something little to support our fathers. So what my mom used to sell was kenke. She was selling bread. She was selling soap. So my elder sister and then my cousin will carry bread, and I'll carry the soup. We'll be in the Tamale market selling these items. Okay. There was one day I went to sell this soup. I was very hungry. You sometimes carry these things without eating. You have to wait for them to buy before you get some coins to buy food. So there was one day I was so hungry and at that time they had not bought my soup. I had to go and reduce the price of the soup because I wanted money to buy food. So I just reduced the price of the soup, sold it to one person. When I got my coin, then I went to buy wasa. It's a local food in Tamale. Okay. Then I ate my food, and that day too, they didn't buy any onion. So I had to carry the thing back home, and then.
And what did your mother say?
She counted it, and they realized that it wasn't up, and she said, "Oh, there is one out." I said, "Yes, I sold it, but I had to use it to buy food."
Did she understand you?
She has to understand. She has to understand because it wasn't so easy.
So as a child, when you were helping your mother support the home, what did you feel doing that?
For me, I loved doing it. Because when she even started her kinky business, I go to the market for her. Even if she's not ready to let me go, I force her to let me go. Maybe that is because of what God knew I'll be doing in future. So for me doing that, it was fun for me, and I was also learning from that. So let me say, the aspect of the business I'm doing today started from childhood.
I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on people who say that having their children support them in whatever businesses they're doing is child labor. Where do we draw the line between supporting the family and it being child labor?
It depends on the kind of business that these parents are doing that involves the child. If it's any decent job, then for me, I think it's okay for the child to support the parent. But if it's any other job that exposes the child to harm, then that is where I would say it's so dangerous, because there are some other activities or businesses, like the beer bar. A child is expected to support the mother sell drinks, alcoholic drinks. After 8, after 9, a young girl. Such businesses definitely will expose these young girls to men. So it depends on the kind of businesses that these our parents are doing. If it's a decent one, then I think there is nothing wrong with it, because we all need to support the home.
So let's fast forward to 2016. You had graduated, you had finished your national service, and then you decided to start your own empowerment center. How did you know that you could do it? What was it about that moment that felt like I should do this? And how did you even know what to do?
I knew I could always do it, because the account would say, not in the negative way, but in the positive way. I had that courage, and I knew that with determination I'll be able to do it.
Was it challenging?
A lot of challenges. Working with these young women, their story today is also my story, because I have been on the street before to sell. And I know how it feels like. There was a day I went to school using toiletry, and it dropped. I sat in class and I wasn't able to concentrate in class. So I know how it feels like if a young girl goes to school and she doesn't have sanitary pad. So what I'm doing today has to do with my life, because I have been there before and I know how these young girls are feeling.
How are you using your foundation to change the narrative for girls who may be in the situation that you were in many years back?
So the word Songba, that is the name of my organization, means support them. What the Songba Empowerment does is that we provide sustainable livelihood for young girls. We have other training centers or other institutions that provide jobs. But I'm saying sustainable here because we provide jobs that after the training, these girls are able to stand on their feet to continue with whatever training that we have given them. So we enroll these girls from various areas. We have some girls that have dropped out of school. Some are victims of early child marriage, and some of them are also from broken homes. We enroll these girls in our center, give them this skills training in the production of smoke, as well as the sewing
like
of the
what you're wearing.
like what I'm wearing, and then the production of the reusable sanitary pads. We look for the customers for them, and whilst they are working, they are being paid. So currently, every trainer in the center is being paid. And these girls have the opportunity to save once every week through our savings and loan scheme.
Amazing.
Yes, so we are trying to build them to let them understand the importance of saving. We have graduated 19 of these young girls who are currently masters on their own. And currently we have 42 of the trainees at the center. With girls that have benefited from the reusable sanitary pads, they're over 13,000, because we started distributing this since 2010.
And how many communities do you serve with the reusable sanitary pad project?
We've been to all the 5 regions in the northern region. We've even served the school for the deaf in all 3 regions, Savlugu School for the deaf, Bulgar School for the deaf, Wild School for the deaf. We've been able to reach out to all these girls for their communities uncountable. Yes, and we do all these things with the support of other organizations that support or that work in the area of menstrual hygiene management.
What would you say the response has been like to your project?
The response is great because, you know, the northern region that I come from is known to record a high rate of young girls migrating from the north to the south here to engage themselves in Kayayu. These are young girls that can also be in school to become better people in future. But they get to a certain age and they feel that being on the street is the only solution. And this exposes these girls to a lot of dangers. I am from there and I shouldn't see my sisters going through this. That is what made me introduce the aspect of they earning some income during the training. Because if you want to wait for them to complete the training after 3 years, when are they going to set themselves up? Who is going to set them up? These are all thoughts that at the end of the day, these girls will end up leaving the training skill to run back to the street. But if you let them start enjoying the benefits of the skill, that is definitely going to let them stay and to take their skills seriously.
We're still talking to our first discovery, Rhoda Kadua Wedam. Let's take a look at a day in her life.
Rhoda Kadua Wedam hails from Navrongo in the Upper East region of Ghana. Rhoda is moved by the various challenges young people face daily, especially girls, and has therefore established the Songba Empowerment Center to help find solution to some of these challenges. At Songba Empowerment Center, young people are provided with skills training to ensure that they are able to provide for themselves and stay independent even after the training session is over. They are trained in smock weaving, sewing of washable parts, and shea butter production, just to mention a few. Rhoda is truly a change agent who is positively impacting her community and beyond.
Nice, nice. I love what I see. I love what I see.
Yeah,
You were
doing
telling
so
me earlier that this was also woven at the center. I
Yes,
mean, it
please.
wasn't sewn there, but the fabric itself was woven at the
Woven
center.
from the center.
Let's take a look at what they wove for you. I mean, it's really nice. Oh, wow. Does this one have a name? This color of the northern kente, does it have a name?
It's just the fugu. We call it a fugu
Oh,
fabric.
the fugu.
Fugu
It's the
fabric.
same one used for the smock.
It's the same one.
Oh,
It's the same
right.
one.
Let's talk about Kel 360 toothpaste. Are you desperate of getting a toothpaste that will take care of all your family and save money? The recommended family toothpaste right now is Kel 360 toothpaste. It's FDA approved and you can rely on this quality. It will prevent cavity. It will give you fresh breath with its minty cool taste. So grab yourself Kel 360 toothpaste. It's another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. Still with me here is Rhoda Kadua Wedam. She is the founder of Songba Empowerment Center. And you saw that, you know, the beautiful things they do over there from that video we saw. What would a typical role of this cost at the center? Or you want people to call you? You want people to call you first?
I don't mind
Right,
sharing
go ahead
it,
and share with us.
So, from what you saw at the production center, we produce at wholesale prices. What I'm wearing is 2 yards, let me say 1 cloth. So we sell ranging from 4 yards, and at wholesale prices, you can get the 4 yards at 250 Ghana cedis. And then for the smoke for men too, you can get them at 350 cedis, quality ones.
We can see that.
Yes.
We saw that. The girls were weaving from
Yes,
scratch.
Yes.
Wow. So what are the processes? You were showing me something earlier.
Yes.
So what's the first process? The
That's
one that
the
she was.
wrapping. You see the big machine with it winding like that. That is the wrapping. That is where you start from to be able to get your pattern right. If you're not able to get a pattern there, when it gets to the machine, then everything is going to be wrong. So from there, you then move to the headline. Then 2 people will have to do that. One releases the thread to the other one. Then they remove it from the headline. Then that is what they do, and then at the end we get the pattern, and then it's woven.
See, wonderful. What does it take for a girl to enroll at Songba Empowerment Center?
We receive girls that come on their own that want to learn, and such girls pay a subsidized fee. We even call it a commitment fee, because initially when we started this whole program, it was for free. But realized that the girls were not taking it serious. We've been providing them with lunch every day, but these girls come and then they don't come again. So we had to attach that fee to it. That is the commitment fee that these young girls will have to pay. We also have organizations that enroll some girls.
They pay the commitment fee for them.
They pay the commitment fee for the girls. And then we also admit some girls for free, girls with special cases.
Where do you see yourself in the future?
In the next 5 years, we should be able to have a big structure where we'll be able to house these girls, more like the boarding facilities. Because if you're able to house these girls, aside the training skills, we'll be able to introduce other programs that will be able to shape them so well for the society.
I see.
Yes.
Why girls alone? How about the boys? If we leave the boys alone, you know, seems quite unfair to that gender.
It's quite unfair, but the Songbara Empowerment Center for now is focusing on women and girls because in the northern part of the region, women are known to be the breadwinners of the homes. They have to support the family to be able to feed and as well as take care of the children. I'm not saying the men do support, but the women do much of that. So empowering the woman, I believe that when the woman is empowered, the children also have the opportunity to go to school. They'll be able to support their families as well.
Do you think
not
that
adding boys to the program, let me say it has been a challenge to me because I tried adding the aspect of the smock weaving, and usually it is the men that are known for that. So I'd wanted the men to come in, and then whilst the girls weave, the men will sew. But it became a challenge because when you
the combination,
that is it, keeping men and women, young men and women in the same place, definitely the end results wouldn't be good. So that is a challenge I ever experienced, and maybe we introduce other programs for boys.
For boys only.
Yes.
You have also had some recognition and awards in the past. Take us through those.
In 2018, I had the overall Sustainable Best Female Development Goal Achiever, Africa. Then in 2020, I was also the Community Development Award winner under 40 awards. And then also the MTN Heroes of Change. I was also a winner under the Economic Empowerment category. In 2021, I was fortunate to be a Mandela Washington Fellow. That gave me the opportunity to host the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield, and then the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana at my center in Tamale. And one statement my girls made after the visit of the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations was that she said, "Oh, madam, when we sit here like this, most of the people that see us think that because we've not been to school, we are useless. But the visit of these people have made me realize that what I'm doing is important and I can go places with the skill that I'm doing."
Do you have a family of your own? Let's talk about your own family. Talk to us about that.
So Rhoda is not married, but Rhoda has someone.
The way you are saying it, I'm sure that someone is watching.
That someone is watching.
We are also wanting that someone to hurry up. We are also telling that someone to hurry up.
Yes, that's true.
But I hope that he's very supportive.
Sure, so supportive. So supportive.
Amazing.
You know, it's not easy being with women like us.
So he's understanding.
He's understanding.
And we get you. And we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Rhoda, thank you. This is for you. We're giving you products from Kel Toothpaste. We've got Kel Kids, Kel Charcoal, and Kel 360. You are not new to Kel, are you?
No, I'm not new to Kel.
Wonderful. Thank you. You may take a seat, Rhoda.
Thank you very much.
And we are proud of you and your girls, Rhoda. Thank you so much for coming. Next is Halima Nuhu Sadia, another wonderful lady doing great things up north. Don't go away.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel Kids.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
Welcome back to the Kel Toothpaste PL show. Today we are having a conversation with 2 amazing women who are doing wonderful things in their communities up north in Ghana. Right now, I'm about to speak with Halima Nuhu Sadia. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
People your age, you know, are staying woke and are doing very fun things. But here you are helping other people your age, younger, and maybe even older, to find a better place in life. What makes you do what you do?
The motivation I can't define, but I think I feel better when I do what I do.
Amazing. And when did you start doing it?
I started when I was 19 years. We were about to go home from waxing. So I realized that we had a lot of extra provisions, extra food, and we were ready to throw them all away because we were too excited. So that was where the idea struck me, and I told some friends close by that, why don't we bring all of these things together? There are vulnerable groups out there who might make food or make something important out of what we don't see important. So they actually bought into the idea. So we went around dormitories to dormitories, house to house, and we collected as many provisions, as many clothing, as many books as we can. And on the day when we were supposed to all go back to our homes, we decided to pay a courtesy or a donation visit to the orphanage, donate these items to them, then we proceed to our homes happily. So that is how it all started.
That's how it started. Talk to us about your educational background.
My secondary school education was at Kumasi Wesley Girls, and then I proceeded to University for Development Studies. That was my first time going to the north, even though I am a northerner who didn't know my home. But then I think that opportunity was the chance for me to get to know what the north was like, and all the misconceptions and stereotypes I came from
What were some of them?
So my mother would be like, when you see something on the floor, don't pick it. I heard when you pick something on the floor, you could turn into a yam. Nobody gave me glad tidings of going to the north. So that was where I actually stayed in my hostel room for a week without stepping out, because I didn't know what I was going to meet outside.
Wow. And when you finally did?
I loved it. I never came back to Kumasi.
And that's where you've been since?
Yes, I got married there.
Okay.
So I'm now there.
Amazing. You're stuck in your hometown
yeah.
now.
So my father always go like, Mummy, I only sent you to school and you decided never to come back.
You should tell him, because that's where you're from.
Yeah, so it's been an amazing experience. And when we got back to school, the first thing I did was, I think I went to orientation. Then I saw that there was a charity organization. So I kind of feel that kind of relationship between myself and charity. So I joined the organization. So any organization that really does anything around charity, I was there. Then my friends with whom we did the initial donations, they came and said, Sadia, what happened to what we started? Why is it that you left it like that, and now you are following people when you have an amazing following yourself? So I decided to bring it back again. Okay. So we did another donation to the Tamale orphanage. Then there was Ramadan 2018. So someone from the Tamale prisons told us that the prisoners hardly get food, especially when they are fasting. They fast on an empty stomach, and then they kind of even break on an empty stomach. They have to just rely on the prison food, which they might not get because it's for the fasters. It will be finished. So we decided to organize a prison's iftar. Iftar is what you use to break your fast. So we started with that, and the support that came out was amazing. Myself, I don't know where some people saw the flyer. I don't know where. So even to the extent some people were sending us bags of rice from Accra to support what we are doing. So we finished the whole 30 days. We fed the prison from day 1 to day 30.
Which prison was this?
Tamale prisons. And then after that, on the Eid day, we cooked for them and went with extra bags of rice, extra drinks, and
everything to donate to the prisons so they could have a good time as well and also enjoy their Eid. So that was when we were kind of rising, getting recognized as an organization.
So when did my Hereafter project begin?
Late 2018, a father contacted me. The daughter had a hole in heart. He needed 10,000 Ghana cedis then, but the family was mobilizing its own resources and they needed our support. I realized I could be of help. So that was when I tried to put up a flyer, tell a story. So I am a story writer. What I do is I listen to your story, then I summarize it to the people. Then I tell the people, this is the person, this is what's wrong with the person, and this is what the person needs, and this is the budget. So you end up seeing the donations coming in. That particular girl's condition, it took us about 4 or 5 months to raise 5,500. We raised the money, we gave it to the family then. They got the surgery for the girl, and today the girl is fine. She's growing just like any other girl.
You're watching the Kel Toothpaste PL show. Remember that our show is brought to you by the Kel Toothpaste brands, Kel Kids, Kel 360, and Kel Charcoal. Gone are the days when people crush charcoal and stems of plantain, mixed it together in order to brush their teeth. Now, Kel Toothpaste brands has brought you the Kel Charcoal toothpaste so that you can have the benefit of both in one toothpaste. It's hygienically produced and is also approved by the Food and Drugs Authority, and so you can rely on its quality. What can it give you? It will help whiten your teeth, it will give you fresh breath, it will reduce dental plaque, it will make your gum strong, prevent cavity, reduce upset stomach, and also take away your hangover breath. Kel Happy Smile. Still with me here is Alima Nuhu Sadia. And you say you're a storyteller. Explain that to us. Where did you find that skill, or did you learn it?
I think it's innate because I don't remember taking any training on storytelling, nor did I just loved reading. And then I tell my own stories with my own vocabularies. I try to make sure my stories are simple English, no big English. So that was when my following started gathering. So we now tuned all our efforts to not just listening to the stories, but making an impact with the story. So from 2019, we started getting cases coming to us that, okay, if you've been able to help this girl, why don't you help us? Then we had to now turn our organization and change our focus to just a charitable organization, but one that could impact health positively. So that was where the rebranding came in. So we now change our direction. So for the past 3 to 4 years, we've been solely concentrated on health support, where we have 3 aspects of that. We have the health financing, which see us appealing for funds for patients. So whilst doing that, we ask ourselves questions. What happened to early detection? So we asked our questions, we go down to the root causes, then we realized that it was the problem of lack of education and lack of finances. So we tackle the education aspect by introducing our health outreach, where we go to communities where they are either far from a health facility or they do not have a health facility. We provide them with screening. We have volunteer medical officers. Then tackling the issue of finances, we decided to liaise with the National Health Insurance Authority, where we register children on health insurance. So at least the health insurance can get you to go to the hospital, see the doctor, get the diagnosis, and then next, if you can't afford your treatment, then we will step in again.
And how many people have you enrolled?
We've so far enrolled 3,201 children onto the health insurance.
And how's that working out so far?
Yes.
In terms of the target you set for yourself?
The first target we set ourselves was 1,000, and we achieved it in, I think, about 4 or 5 months. Then we said, okay, if we've been able to do 1,000, then we could do 5,000. So we set the target for 5,000 for last year, and as at this year, we have 2,001 registered. So we've done half of the target, almost half of the target. And last year, we organized an end-of-year accountability. So I didn't mention this. All of our 10 years of existence, we've been operating basically on local resource mobilization.
Right.
We've not gotten any international donor to support
Up
anything.
until now, even
up
now?
until now, yes.
I see. Yet you have been able to raise 300,000 cedis
Yes.
over this period.
Yes, in cash, yes.
In
And that's
cash?
for just for the health outreach. If we are to add human resource, we are to add the health insurance aspects, we have the livelihood aspects, and we have the child streetism reintegration aspects. We get to like almost 500, 600,000 worth of
But
Ghana
there are some
cedis.
people who would say that finance or finding the money is their problem. What do you think makes your case or your outreach different?
We have the trust of the people, and it's something we built gradually. Like I said, I started with charity, and then some people also, I didn't mention my father, my mother. My father is also a very renowned philanthropist in Kumasi. Since I think I
Since
got
you've
to
known him.
Yes, every Ramadan he makes sure he gives every orphan that comes to his office clothing and food for their Eid. So it's a yearly, annual something. And from my senior high school, even before I completed senior high school, my father kind of left me in charge of that. So kind of intentionally grooming me on the charity aspect.
Wow.
So that is where the network started. It's been a journey. A lot of people know me from my father's office, and if you could handle the whole of Kumasi in your father's office, what shows that we cannot trust you with the little we have.
Right.
So the trust.
So what does your father say about what you do now?
My father is very proud. He would just call occasionally and be like, I went here and they mentioned your name. So he went to Hajj last year, and in his room he were with some people from Tamale. Then they were, I don't know what happened, they were discussing my issue in the room. Then he had to hit his chest and tell them that I'm his daughter. So,
amazing.
Like,
but does he ever draw a link between, when he left you in charge of what he was doing back then, or perhaps still does, while you were in senior high school?
Yeah,
he hasn't drawn the link
yet.
So
I don't think he has even realized that is where I started. He just felt like I should get involved in what he's doing. So I have very involving parents. They all feel snatchy about us. We are 8 children in all. So they are kind of competing to have us. I don't know, that's their kind of parenting. So my father will take all of us out whenever he's stepping out, and my mother will want all of us at her shop whenever she's going to the shop.
Really?
So even the last born will know how to make something as a tailor.
Right.
So I can make my own dresses. I can. So I don't need to go to the tailor. My mother made sure at least you know how to do something for yourself.
Awesome.
And my father will always make sure he carries you with whatever trip he's going on. So
can your parents adopt me? Because I think they should adopt me at this point.
I'll tell them.
You have a bachelor's in psychology.
Yes.
How did you do that? And why did you decide to go for a psychology bachelor's?
I had a mentor who was a psychologist, and I really loved listening to her. And when I was in the university, I'm the first daughter of my father with 3 little sisters. Then my 3 little sisters got married.
Okay.
I was still not married. So it happened one after the other. It was not just all together. So the pressure was after the next one got married, okay, so when are you getting married? Then the next one also went still, the older one is still there. The last one was married still. Sadia is still not married. So there was pressure on me. And I knew I was not ready for marriage. I was stubborn. I am stubborn. So at a point, I had to quarrel with my parents. It went bad. The relationship that kind of friendly relationship we had was no more there. And when I turned around, there was no psychologist around. There was no trusted counselor around me. I tried reaching out to my mentor who is international, and I'm being emailed with a charge of how much I'm supposed to pay to talk to her. So that was when I realized that maybe I'm not the only one going through this.
Right.
But who do we talk to around? Who? There's no one. So I decided to take up the course, one for myself and two for others I have to talk to, or others who need someone to talk to.
And are you offering that?
Yes,
service
I am. Not 100%. I was waiting to get my office, then I'll open up to the general public. But on a personal level, so I have a very special relationship with all my volunteers in the organization. I can tell all their relationship, how we are solving their issues, how we are. So I always make sure I build that relationship with you.
Taking a personal interest in them.
In everything you do to make sure you are sound. And I always make sure I'm open enough for you to come to me whenever you think you need someone to talk to. Because
but you know, how bad would you say the pressure was that it made you go and take a psychology course?
Yes, it was bad, to the extent that some people even started saying I was possessed, and then whatever is possessing me is pushing my husband away. So there were a lot of misconceptions. But I said, until I am done and I feel that I'm ready. So aside the pressure of misconceptions, the issue of this is husband, marry him, was also there. So they bring this one, I go like, I don't want. They bring another one, I don't want. They bring so what do you want? So
but in the end, you got what you want.
Yes, in the end, I bought what I want. I didn't pick from anybody.
Amazing.
I told them the kind of marriage I want to have, the kind of life I want to live. I don't think someone should choose a husband for me. I should know who I want to live with, and if I find him, I think he's the right person, I'll marry him.
You're such an impressive young woman. Let's take a look at a typical day in your life. Here's 360.
Nuhu Halimatu is passionate about helping people have access to health care. By this, she set up the My Hereafter project in 2013. One of the main functions of the project is to solicit funds to help people access health care. Nuhu Halimatu has successfully helped turn tears into smiles in the face of adversity for both the young and old. And she continues to light up their world through giving and serving others to bring about the change we all want to see.
My Hereafter project has done more for our children in TTH here, especially the North here. They are always here to save lives. They support the kids in their surgeries. They do help in supporting the family. We entreat them to do more because we need them to save more lives.
Nice stuff you're doing over there. And when you went to the hospital, what was it for?
I went to see Katada. Katada was born with a condition, hydrocephalus. He had extra water in his head and it needed to be taken out. And they required an amount of almost 15,000 Ghana cedis. We were able to raise 10,500 for the father. So after paying it, the surgery was done.
You better uncommon so but see no. My member Monkaye say unkola 2 to 6 years will fear. Na de bia just a wutie mu and na say wuhuna one sana wo to tree amosia and there was so who say toothpaste na we use no and yet Inti na kel kits aba. Flavor ni strawberry. Ebe ma wo mo sin aye fitaa. Ebe bo wo mo gam no ho so by. Inti se uwo fie na se wo nkola 2 to 6 years older. To kel kits toothpaste ema wom. Eye FDA ama ho kwan se nkola between that age. Ebetimi eyusu kel kits happy smile. Still with me here eye Alima Nuhu Sadia. Edi important na obeka se eye challenges abawa kwan mu as you have embarked on this journey to change people's lives.
Ejuma we full-time ejuma. However, maybe apili sika 10,000 ewo hwa. Minti ni bi nto aduane. Eji se me de 10,000 ni nyina ekoma ni pakoro na oyare. Me kope ejuma nso so a ejuma wura ni bisa me say Alima minimum application ni be wa me apply kro mu mfi me if you so munim say me fully employed with this organization. Meanwhile, organization also into America. That's one challenge. And a challenge back say community outreaches na ye kon. Ye pese ye kwa ye doso. Nti team ni na it me be 20 and a ye community.
Okay.
And so you nika.
Oh.
In the end, je pemoto be 10. Na ya 2. Enye safe. Communities no so omo emuwa. Ebi oho it me take ye be 30 minutes and sign a you. Even though you could say a fun muchi moto mo kasa mu dia agomoko but enye safe. BBC our life is at risk. Ti ye boy who ye force say ye be try na ya pekuta from donations ayejan. Na ye dey solve issues kakaka. If we say nyene sa ebe kakra no yentimi nya hwe biem.
Nti wo in the near future no, where would my hereafter project be?
In regards to the project as a large, we are trying to see if we could establish mothers, because mothers in the north, even in Ghana, are kind of the, I wouldn't want to say 100% breadwinners, but if the mother has something doing, it's hard for the family to lack. And we've come to realize that even after paying for the surgeries and medications and everything for a family, if they go back and the child is malnourished, the child cannot heal. The mother will end up calling you, and then maybe obano si tu no one deal. Mesewa mama kakra na mento e mano. The next day she go, yeah, drona sound. You have to send another money. So far what we've tried is we will give the mother something like 1,000 or 1,500 to start a petty business. Out of it, she will buy medications and food for the children. So we are hoping that if we could get a bigger source of funding where we could establish more mothers in businesses that are profitable, where they could feed the children, get them better medication, there wouldn't even be the fear of going to the hospital when their child is sick. And also they could have the chance of saving, where they could support themselves in cases of emergency instead of running back to us every day. So that's a future we envision. And we also envision a future orphanage for our projects, because some of the cases are there when you come, you realize that you have to snatch the child from the parents. There is nothing that can be done about it. There was a child we failed to snatch and they watched the child die. Up to today, I haven't forgiven the family and I have never stepped foot back there because the thing is so painful. The child is an orphan, his mother and father are dead, and it's just the brothers. And they are trying to take advantage of the boy. They left him stranded. It took someone, a UDS student that went to the community to do something. And the person called and said, Sister Alima, so one day he just called me and said the boy is on the verge of collapsing. So I told him to pick the boy and rush him to the Tamale Teaching Hospital. I'll send money. So I did that. They rushed the boy there. It took us about 3 weeks for the boy to recover. He spent 2 weeks in emergency. They give him blood, his body rejects the blood.
Wow.
it took about a month and 2 weeks before they discharged the boy from the Tamale Teaching Hospital. An orphanage was ready to take him, but when they realized he had epilepsy, they decided they would not take him again. Then we took the boy back to his house. Another orphanage was ready to take him regardless, but we had to prepare a birth set and other stuff. So we took the boy back home. He had about 5 monthly donors that were ready to give him something at the end of every month to make sure he's healthy. We were supporting this, but after 1 month, we gave him back to the family in November. When we went back in December to pick the boy, he was back to square one. Whatever we took to the hospital was the same thing we went back to pick again. So this time around, we had to bring him to Konfanochi. He spent about 2 weeks in Konfanochi, got healed, and we took him back home. And we said then we are going to get him a foster parent who we will take care of. The family stood up, went to the foster parents, installed them, took the boy back home, and made something like a chicken coop outside. They don't even allow the boy to mingle with their children. So why do you insist on taking the boy?
Right.
Give the boy to us too is a problem. So if we had our own facility, we could have taken such children in collaboration with social welfare. So pitching this idea to the chief of Manguli, he gave us a 1 acre of land for free to do this, but it's left with us to get a structure on the acre of land. This year, that's one of our goals, to appeal for as much funds as possible to put up a structure on that land so we could salvage some of these children.
So boy bia opese wo de boa Halima the number any details at screen no ase. Asembe na wo kachre young people who are watching you.
The communities where I visit, sadly, you hardly find the young people. The Kaya Humanes is so bad. We don't know it until you travel down to the communities down there. They've all traveled here to find a source of living. But imagine if their mother had a source of living. Will they leave their children to come out here? No. So if you are watching this today, know that regardless of the situation that you grow up in, you can make a change in someone's life.
And for such an impressive young woman, we have a present for you. We've got presents from our sponsors, the Kel Toothpaste brands, Sasso, their sister brands from the Samara group of companies. So she'll hold on to it for you. And so this is a present we're giving to you. It's not enough to say thank you for what you're doing, but it's symbolic of our appreciation and our recognition of what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the PL
Thank
show.
you too very much, and thank you for having me.
Indeed. And thank you too for watching us this week on the Kel Toothpaste PL show. Remember, our show is brought to you by the Kel Toothpaste brands, Kel 360, Kel Kids, and Kel Charcoal. My makeup is by the African American Beauty Academy and Spa, and I hope to see you next week. Remember that if you missed the show, there's always a playback on YouTube. Also, follow us on our socials. Our socials are crawling at the bottom of your screens right now. See you some other time. Bye-bye.